This grand jury report issued today out of Pennsylvania comes as a shock to many that read it, but it comes as no news to us. We've been working with survivors across the country of clerical sexual abuse, and everything in this report today, as horrible as it is the kind of thing that has been revealed and known to us for 3.5 decades. It's also a reality that the information included in this comes because of the courage of the survivors and, in this case, a grand jury that found what we've already known to be. And the finding that is in the introduction, I think really hits the nail on the head. And they state, for many of us, those earlier stories happened someplace else, someplace away. Now we know the truth. It happened everywhere. As sad as that is, that's something we have known, armed with the courage of the survivors sharing their secrets for decades, and every day reveal in some way that we can that there is a massive cover-up and massive concealment of clerical crimes across the country, in every diocese, in every state, in every community in the U.S. of A. Pennsylvania is no different. They also, in the grand jury report, reveal something already known to us and revealed in the thousands of cases that we've brought with courageous survivors. And they talk about the playbook for concealing the truth employed by the Catholic bishops. First, they use euphemisms to describe rape of children. They call it like the concern or the inappropriate conduct. Second item in the playbook is they don't conduct genuine investigations, bogus investigations. They make it look like they're looking when they're not. Third, they use the appearance of integrity to say that they're sending the offender to a treatment center when in fact the treatment center is a loyalist to them and is not interested or instructed to get to them, by them to get to the truth. And thus they diagnose them without really looking and basically give them a clean bill of health. Fourth, when a priest does have to be removed, they never say why. They say he goes on sick leave or is taking a sabbatical. Lie. Fifth, they say even if a priest is raping children, they keep providing him with housing, living expenses, pay, and privilege, and continue to use the resources to access kids and groom them for their ultimate prey. Sixth, if a predator's conduct becomes known to the community, they don't remove him from the priesthood to ensure that no more children will be victimized. Instead, transfer him to another location. If it's too close by and the heat too much, they'll move him out of state. If that doesn't work, they'll move him out of country, and from country to country or state to state. And seventh and finally, above all, don't tell the police. Each of those seven items are a part of the playbook for concealment of the truth that is sadly, but not shockingly, known to us. And I continue to be shocked but never surprised by the deceit, the deception, and the denial. This grand jury report today is another revelation that I think is a part of the awakening, but it is the courage of the survivors who share their secrets, that stand with us and others in exposing these dangerous practices with the ultimate goal of protecting the kids, because the kids are not safe and at grave peril until there is a massive cleanup of the massive cover-up that is underway in Pennsylvania and in every state across this country. What has to be done is, number one, the statutes of limitations have to be removed so that survivors can take action and can disclose their truth and can have those that are both complicit and who have offended prosecuted under the law. Two, legal pressure and heat has to be put on the Catholic bishops and the top officials across the country, as well as the Vatican, to force them to disclose the truth and the names of all the offenders, the thousands of offenders they know have offended kids that they keep secret, and all the bishops and top officials that are complicit in those offenses, who have actively concealed and covered it up the way it is so detailed in this grand jury report. And finally, we as a culture, as communities, as parents, have to be the ones that are willing to hold those complicit accountable and call it what it is. The rape of the children and those in top positions of authority complicit in it. There's a reluctance on the part of us as a community and in this culture to want to believe that those among us that are trusted the most, the Roman Catholic bishops, from the Pope on down, would engage in concealment and cover-up, but they do and they have. It's been documented and well documented across this country, and frankly now across the globe, for decades. The time is now. We have to bring light, we have to bring heat, and the only way we know how to do that is to expose them using the legal system and giving the survivors the power to take action, to not only protect kids, but to share their truth. And while the bishops hide behind the statutes of limitations and the reluctance of the communities to believe the survivors, the cover-up will continue. We praise the survivors that have shared their secrets and the thousands that have worked with us and in line with us in sharing their secrets, exposing the truth, and exposing those in positions of power that have chosen to use deceit, that have chosen to use deception, that have chosen to abuse their power and betray the trust reposed in them by the faithful and the communities. And we have chosen to stand with those survivors and for their truth. And today, more truth is revealed. Tomorrow, it will be safer when we are willing to acknowledge what is real and what is true, and that the cover-up continues.